not a bit convincing.
Actually, for the other with Mac, I can try to use AirDrop.
Okay, so
for those who want.
as Mongo
No, you don't want to use AirDrop. It's Wi-Fi, don't use Wi-Fi.
Nobody has Mongo installed?
I have
Okay, who needs to install Mongo?
here is a Mongo for Mac.
Okay, so on the Mac, if you use brew, you can just do brew install Mongo.
No,
But
that's
that
like
will
how
use
you can't. You download or you take one of the sticks. That's much faster than waiting for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, okay then. Just take the USB stick.
If you are on a Mac, don't download.
Okay, if you're on the Mac, don't download. If you're on Linux, use apt-get install Mongo
Really?
or whatever. And if you're on Windows, you're on your own. You download it from the website.
What do we do for our Mac?
You can do brew install MongoDB if you're on brew, or you can do fin install MongoDB. Yeah, or you can just wait for
Yes.
Mongo, so
Mongo Mac.
who needs Mongo Mac?
Mongo Mac.
Too slow. Any more Mongo Mac? Waiting for that.
We'll never get it. You have a
Now
USB.
I put energy that way, and now I see it.
Yeah.
We are going to go. No, Martin is still doesn't.
No, I will try.
Okay.
So well.
Are you all ready, or who's not ready? Ready?
Who is not ready or who is
Who's not?
not? They.
I am not ready.
You're not ready? Ah.
Firefighter, how do I know?
Okay, first, then little clarification.
Yeah. So we are not
Yeah.
Mongo experts, right?
Yes, and
There might be some questions we can't answer. There might be questions we can answer about Mongo itself. But basically, we are not experts. We worked on the MongoTalk driver for MongoDB on Faro. Esteban did the Voyage framework mostly by himself. But we are not like Mongo developers or anything.
so another clarification. Nico and me, we both take the social event really seriously. So we split the tutorial in two parts. The first part is MongoTalk. It's going to be led by Nico, and in the meantime I'm going to take a nap. And the second part will be the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay?
You can wake him up during his nap if you have questions or if you need help on your computer. Okay? So, do you all have MongoDB installed now? No? Yes? Yes? Yes. Excellent. Do you all have Faro? 2.0 would be nice.
Faro, let me backfix this.
Yeah. Faro 2.0.
Now.
Okay. Then you can evaluate this to load the MongoTalk driver.
And let's hope that that doesn't keep the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay.
Shutdown. Exception. Needs unable to create open permission denied.
What?
No, no.
I'm trying to run Mongo.
Hold the nap.
If I run it with sudo, looks like it works.
Sudo. No. Everybody has Mongo running?
How can you do your Mongo?
Just MongoDB. I don't know in Mac. How do you Mongo in Mac?
Mongo start. MongoDB start. I don't know. Depends on.
I was following the instructions in the README. MongoDB in the README it says that you have to execute that.
Somebody cares.
What? No,
Everybody
no, but
has
it's shut
Mongo
down.
running and MongoTalk
Error.
loaded in the image.
DataDB does not exist. Yeah, yeah, here in the instruction sets. Create DataDB. Meanwhile, we go to the far. Then, oh yeah, demo. 3.0 or 2?
Two.
Okay, no, but it loads in 3.0, but you need to change method shell of platform attributes.
Okay.
The method to allow 2.0 packages. But it loads. In fact, examples are over a 3.0 image. So.
Who's not ready yet?
Yeah, not made.
Okay. Do you need help?
We don't know the English MongoTalk.
Okay.
Loading the metachela configuration.
Okay.
Okay. You can talk about Mongo.
Yeah. So
Ah,
who
no, it is
doesn't know
DataDB,
other Mongo?
but in the
There.
README.
Yeah. Okay. So Mongo is a NoSQL database. It's open source. And it fits very well with Faro because it's document oriented compared to most NoSQL database, which are most of them key value stores. And Mongo is not like that. It's a document oriented database which fits quite well with objects. And one other key aspect of Mongo is that it has a powerful query language that we'll use intensively. And that's also a big difference with most NoSQL databases who do map reuse or stuff like that. So MongoTalk is the driver for Faro. It reads and writes BSON on a socket connected to the Mongo database. And basically it's the outside of the MongoTalk driver is quite simple. You have the Mongo connection, then you have your database. Inside the database you have Mongo collections, and inside your collections you have the documents. Okay, so now I need you to have everything set up and running. Is it the case for everyone? Yes?
How can I do so?
Did you do MongoD start? No. You need to install Mongo but also start it, right?
Yeah, otherwise it will be a little hard to get a connection.
It was written there, now it is in
I see blurs. I see large blurs.
I loaded
Yeah. Should be, yeah? Yeah?
153.
Yeah, that's it. So it's the Mongo that you
Downloaded from the page.
no, you don't need start, yeah.
Somebody.
And
And
for some
you have to
reason
create a subdirectories dash data
Yes.
in the root or change the root, but it is easy to create.
can you put the password? No. No, okay.
Mongo. Contests.
Now it's a good source.
Okay, test green.
DataDB.
Test greens is good.
Okay. To properly run Mongo, you need to create manually.
Okay, so for the one on
This
Mac
will be
who downloaded the, who took the version from the USB stick looks like you need to create /data/db directory.
Well, you probably want to do that in your local directory and eliminate the slash, and then you have to tell it minus
DB.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can do
but
that
this is-
too, but this is the easiest one.
This is.
Yeah, so you try that and then you do
Then
MongoDB.
you have to sudo that, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. With sudo. As you can see, I'm using the same font as Igor. But
It's fine.
So that means sudo
yes, it can be.
/data, sudo /data.
Even the speed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
So, the first step is to create a database and then insert a collection and manipulate some documents. So we will do that first by creating a connection to Mongo. So you can evaluate the first line. It's here to get your Mongo connection.
Can you put it bigger up, please?
Yes. There is a demo.
Medium.
Where?
Search for
Ah, yeah.
Or crash.
Yeah.
Medium.
medium is usually good enough.
The problem is that now you have to
Copy paste
copy paste in a new workspace.
Okay, a ver.
Okay. So you do that again.
It's not really live enough yet.
What?
It's not really live enough yet.
No?
No?
Ah, sorry.
Dave, can you let me?
Which class? No collection.
These are headers, these are.
Yes.
Yeah.
You put the name.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, that is. Otherwise,
Yes. Collections should be
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
That is
so
okay.
everyone connected to Mongo?
users.
Don't click around that much.
Sorry?
MongoDB.
Don't click around that much.
But
Yeah.
you should create DataDB
Just, evaluate the first line.
in the root.
Should open a connection to the Mongo database.
Recursively.
Check that out.
Okay, fine?
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay.
Just gotta hang over.
Lower.
Okay, so then we'll create a database. We named it ESAC, but you can name it whatever you want. You don't explicitly create databases. That's just you want to get a database, you give it a name, and Mongo will create it for you if it doesn't exist yet. Okay, then we can inspect the collection in our database because now it's empty. Everybody has an empty database?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And we can, so the tutorial is split in two. In the first part we will insert manually documents into Mongo using the same objects as we will do in the second part with Voyage. That's why it's here we create collection named user and we will insert the user document into the collection. So let's create a Mongo collection, and then we can add, so Mongo documents in Faro are dictionaries, right? So you create a dictionary and you can add it to your collection. Okay, so that's the Mongo part. So the first method we use is add. But if you want to update an existing document, you can do update with, and you give it new data. So I'm not 27 anymore, I'm 28. Well, let's update the database.
I don't understand what it does exactly.
Okay, so update with, it will find here the object, the document in the database with the name Nico, and we'll update it with the new data that I give here.
Okay, so it replaces the
It's a
full
replace.
dictionary. It replaces
Yeah.
the full dictionary
Yes,
with a new one.
if you put a query with will fetch more than one object, will replace all the objects
Yeah.
that fetch with the data that you are giving. So it's dangerous.
Nico?
Yeah.
How do you, I want to view it before I change it. How do you, sorry,
Yes.
how do you get the update back?
Okay, I will do that in a minute.
Oh, okay, very
Just
good.
update it.
I don't want to update it, I want to make sure it was the old thing, so I can see if it's a new thing.
We will do that.
Nico,
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
if you update add twice, your name Nico is.
It will find two objects. Yeah.
No duplicates.
It will. Yeah, it will.
Is it duplicate?
Yeah. I'm just adding dictionaries. If I find it by ID, then I know I will get only one. But if I'm just adding a new one, so with the same data,
And
I'm
when
adding
you update those.
this update. Yeah, if it finds two documents with this for this query, it will update both. Yeah.
So we should put query.
Okay. So the next method in the Mongo API is delete.
And now you cannot select. So
You see,
there
there's
you are.
nothing.
Yeah, I will add it back. Okay.
Okay, that was probably was not
Yeah.
well arranged, the order of execution, but okay.
Maybe I should go past the keynote.
That is, in fact, not is just
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's basically it to manipulate. Mongo doesn't have much more. It's quite simple to use. Basically, the MongoTalk makes it look like a Smalltalk collection. So you can add, you can delete, and then we can do queries like in Smalltalk collection. So we can do select, detect. Main difference is that Mongo doesn't take a block to do the query. It takes a dictionary with its query language that you can find online with very good documentation. Here.
try to not to show my private mails.
Yeah. That's not my fault. You should have done it. Where is the doc? Here. Yeah. Where? Right? No. Yes. Let's query for query. Okay. So you see that the API of Mongo is a bit different. It uses find and find one, while in Smalltalk we have select and detect. Okay, to match better the Smalltalk collection API. So the big difference with should go down a bit here. Big difference with Smalltalk collection is that you query with a dictionary and not a block, which is not very convenient, but that's how Mongo works, and you will see later how we can improve that. Okay, so if I try to detect a user with my name and inspect that, okay, I get my user here. Tushan, now you know how to do it. You can also, well, select everything.
These are fonts,
Ah, the fonts are making it slow. Ah, okay.
large fonts,
Okay.
slowest.
So if you just want to see everything, you select with nothing. Of course, don't do that on production, right? You can use, so if you go online and look at the MongoDB query language, you will see that you can do more stuff. Like, I want all users with an age greater than 20. And that's how you do it in the Mongo query language. And in Smalltalk, it's exactly the same. So we just use it as it is, and we find my user, which is the only one, but trust me, it works.
As you can see, the query language is really powerful, but when you start to have complex queries, you end with having a lot of fast dictionary there, and it becomes really hard to read. It's not good, but
So did
we have a solution
everyone
for
did
that
the
too.
queries, select, detect with dictionaries? Is that working for everyone? You find your user back? Good. So yeah, so that's the way to do queries in Mongo. It's not really convenient for us, right? It feels a bit, could be improved. So there is a DSL that is optional and that is plugged into the query classes of MongoTalk, which is called, well, it's not here. Ah, there is that. Okay, we'll see that later. Which is called Mongo Queries. And Mongo Queries loads by default in the metacello configuration, so you all have it now. And what it allows you basically is to select, detect, and do such things with a block instead, which looks a lot more like Smalltalk. So it's a DSL, so it works for many things. But it's not, you cannot do whatever you want. So if you do user select each true, it will not select anything because it doesn't map to valid query in Mongo, right? But basically you have the entire Mongo query language that is supported now. So whatever you can do in dictionaries, you can do it here. And it's pretty natural. I mean, you can really do most of the queries, you don't even think about it. Just write a block and you execute it and it just works. So we can do that instead of using dictionaries as we did. Blah, blah, blah. Here, yeah, so here instead of this, which was really ugly, I can just do that and still get my user. That's better. Yeah.
Problem this is
I can go.
Everyone could do a query with a block.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the last one I wanted to show you is this. So this select limit offset order, and you can remove some of the keywords here, allows you to do a select, but if you want a paged result, you can do it like that. And you can also order in a query. So here, if you evaluate this, you will get limit 1 is a bit.
because anyway,
Yeah.
just one.
So here I'm
record
asking
set.
for users which age is more than 20, I only want the five of them without any offset, so it's the 5 first, and I want to sort by age.
The first
Descending
the
or
first that was
ascending?
The first.
first that were created or
no,
first
by the
I mean
order.
The order is
The
ascending.
order.
Yeah.
okay.
One is ascending, minus one is descending. Really easy to understand.
Yeah, so there is no part something in the DSL. to
No,
change that?
it's only for
Yeah, Voyage, yes. But
Okay.
yeah. Now we are looking at the MongoTalk only driver. It's really low level compared to what we will see with Voyage later. So is anyone having issues? No? Okay, so we can take a look at the Mongo collection class.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see
Maybe like we should.
it looks a lot.
as you can
Like,
see, it doesn't have documentation.
As you can see, it's not documented because it's super easy to use, right?
Self-explanatory.
Yeah. So you can do pretty much what you would do with any other collection. It looks a lot like just another collection or an array. Adding also is pretty straightforward. Okay, that we don't care much right now. Here, that's always private, and you can remove. And you have is empty, include, stuff like that. So if you want to do something that we didn't show here, you can just open the Mongo collection class and look at its API. You will recognize everything. I mean, it's pretty much the same as what you're used to.
What is the meta collection?
No idea.
Mongo meta collection is the metadata for a collection, I think. Since it's documented,
Thing is, this driver was made by Ken Beck by Start, and it has some experimental stuff also that we never use it.
no, this is the
So, yes. So,
database new. Yeah, whatever.
so
Okay.
we don't use ever that.
No, you could remove it by the way.
We need to clean up that since it's made by Ken Beck itself.
It was started by Ken Beck, mostly as a toy,
Yeah.
and it was took over by the community.
Yes.
Okay, everyone.
A small question, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
configuration related. It would be nice if the configuration would load keys from Smalltalk code, because that's a better working version.
That's
Because that works better. Keys is now loaded from Squeak source.
What?
Oh.
In the configuration.
in the configuration
Yes.
of MongoTalk?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah.
What?
We should do that. Update the configuration of MongoTalk.
I updated
to-
yesterday.
It loads from Squixos still. Agrees?
It doesn't work.
No?
If you load,
Oh.
if you load it in a fresh image, then it works. But if you already have Greece loaded from somewhere else, from Smalltalk, where the latest Greece is, then things might go weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that was the first part. I will do my nap and let Esteban do the rest. I can go
Okay.
around if you have questions, if you want to know more about MongoTalk itself.
Okay, that was the first part. The driver just played straight, but as Ilya said yesterday, we are small talkers, we can do more. And it's kinda ugly just to deal with dictionaries of data when we deal with proper objects. So for a project, a commercial project that I made 2 years ago, I started to do Voyage with the idea of having the equivalent of in Mongo of an object relational mappers, because that is not relationalist document. I call it object document mapper, even if it doesn't exist the term. And the idea is that you have objects, small talk objects that they map using Magritte to JSON objects that are persisted and recovered, etc. It's really easy to use. In fact, we use Magritte, but since most of the data is already or in the objects or in Mongo, we infer a lot of the information that we need. We don't
Almost always.
almost always.
So
For
you don't
example,
need to
Mongo knows
specify-
what is a number or a date. I don't need to
Yeah.
create a Magritte description saying, okay, this is going to be a date. That's infer, and we don't need to touch anything.
So it works fine because
But we
Mongo
are going
doesn't
to
have schemas, so you can just change you can put a date and then a number in the same field, it doesn't matter.
And that's how you install Voyage. Please do it now. So
In the same image or afresh?
in the same, yes. This is. You could have a new one, but
They don't need it.
that's my user, that's a project. I was thinking of moving Voyage into the MongoTalk
Yeah, ele.
team umbrella.
Lorenzano.
It will be
Yeah.
better, but for the moment it's still there. By the way, since this is a tutorial, it covers just the basic cases and that, but I see here people that already knows what we are showing now, and probably there is some questions or something that you want to do, and we are here for that too, even if we don't cover it in the examples. Okay. Load? So, ready to go?
Who's not ready? Okay.
Okay, go. Perfect. So, first, the idea of Voyage is that you can have multiple repositories going in the same image. That works, for example, if you have more than one application, this is an application running, I have several cases of that. But you also can run it as a singleton, which allows you to execute the operations a lot easier, and that's what we are going to do. The singleton, what it does is just it stores the repository in a class variable, and the operations uses that regularly. So please execute that.
What does the enable singleton?
Enable singleton, what it does is that it stores the repository as a singleton instance, so we can access it better.
So it's easier to
So-
queries and
It's
stuff.
So
easy
it's
to
more
query.
side.
Yeah.
Yes. That's if you just have one project in your image, that's the best way of doing it, because then you enable operations inside the objects that the other way you have to do it against the repository. I can do an example of that. Okay? So now, okay,
Rewrite.
let's do.
Back.
Huh? Sorry. have the repository, and then we can do exactly the same that we will do with Mongo, but we are going to do it by creating, in this case, a class user to take with attributes name and age to retrieve the data that Nico stores in the collection. Yes, with the accessors, please. Accessors are not needed. Voyage reconstructs through the inst parts directly. You don't need accessors. Accessors are convenient for later.
What else?
Okay.
What else?
Nothing more.
That's all I need to do the save in workspace.
No. Just when, if you already have the user in the class side, you need to implement this method, this Voyage root, which that method declares that this class will be a root and therefore a collection. We'll have a collection with the name user in the database. We're done? Yes?
General question, how is the identity resolved? If you, when you get object, user object,
I have a
identifier.
Voyage manage a cache, a local cache, and it always keeps, it's a weak cache, and then it keeps an instance by itself that it compares all the time to be sure that it doesn't bring duplicates. So if you ask,
User will have always the same identity.
yes, you keep identity. That's one of the cool features. Yeah, you always, you are sure that you always have just one
So it's just for the
for repository. You could have two repositories querying to the same database, and then you will have duplicated objects. So we have our user class.
Yes.
Class sign method too. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes. So since we didn't declare anything, now what Voyage is going to do is to use a name created by itself, which is user or worst, or in fact it's going to be the error because it seems I always use the two-letter namespace. My auto creator just drops the first two to create the name of the collection. So we need, but in any case it will be, the collection will be named user, and Nico creates a collection named users in plural. So we need to tell Voyage that he has to use a collection name which a different name than the default. We do that by create a special description. I always name like that, but in fact what we need is the pragma, which we use to modify the container. And this is a Magritte object. Special Magritte object, but it's going to define the container.
So here we're doing that, but in the general case you don't need it.
In general case you don't need it.
Here it's just to match the collection that we already created, which is named users, and by default Voyage will name it differently. Just
And
to
also
fetch the objects that are already there.
Also we needed to show this because the tutorial has to have 1.5 hours, and since this is simple, we will not have any time, anything to show otherwise. So, we are done? Okay. Okay. So with this, we can know, for example, I'm going to query first all the objects that are, and if everything is okay, we should see one user, which is Nico, with age 28. So I modified the protocols because it looked weird to add select and detect to the class side objects as a regular protocol. So they are closer to the ones that are present in Glorp, which is select all, select one, select many. But select one is detect and select many is select. Do you execute select all?
Yes.
Okay, let's play a little bit. Let's create me there. It's just to create and send the message save, and that's all. And if we select all again, now it is there.
Something
Seven.
strange. I don't see the old one.
What?
I don't see the old one.
Probably.
Maybe I'm the order.
Reset the repository. I did that. Actually create one. I did this again.
Okay. And as you can see, regularly that's all what you need. I could query.
That's a normal Mongo query.
That's a Mongo query.
Okay.
We inherit all the advantages of the driver. So we can execute Mongo queries with the block format, or we can also use the dictionary format.
Save story.
And as I said, the repository will always keep identity of the objects. But I'm going to show you something in the meantime, which is here. Let's connect to the database. We have users, and if we check, now we can see there that you have the two objects inserted, but the object that I insert through Mongo has a lot more data there. It says of which class belongs, and it's stored a version number. The version number is used for updating, because when I bring an object back, I just check the version to see if I need to update the data or to see if there is a conflict. In fact, if there is a conflict, so far I'm not doing anything, but the idea is that you can define after different strategies in any case. And the instance is, the name of the class is kept in case of you have hierarchies. So we just can reconstruct with the proper object and the proper class. We can optimize that and clean that information if you don't need it. We are going to see it later. So let's go back. What happens? So we all laugh.
Don't assign to the class the instance.
What?
They managed to assign to the class the instance.
Oh, what?
Yes. You repeat
You
it.
put the instance instead of the class in the system dictionary.
Okay. Ouch. Okay, so I can take my object by selecting, that just brings one, and I can do the same. I can just change the age. I still will not say you my age because I'm shy and there is a lot of years. And you just save it.
Oh, come on, 27 is not.
It's not so much. 33. And you have the modification, and you can check here that you have it with that you have the modification done. One of the cool things is that this is not relational. You don't have to specify the type. It's just a document with. So I could put a string when Nico put a number, and the Voyage will reconstruct anyway, because since we are inferring
Got it.
the type, we can switch that. We will in fact put different kinds of stuff and have it back without any problem. That's very convenient because it's really dynamic. Instead of, that's why I choose to go for an inference mechanism instead the traditional Magritte descriptions of each field, because if you add a Magritte description, then you are adding a type to the field that then it has to accomplish that. Here I just don't care. I just reconstruct. Yes?
You saved this save is saving just this age change.
Yeah.
But if you forget to save, if you forgot to save,
If you forgot to save, you lose your data. No, it
Because
doesn't. I don't have a dirty mechanism. The object is the object, and I do not modify it in any way. I thought in doing that, but then you have problems to keep in identity because you have to add a proxy, or you have to modify the method, or things that are doable, but you regularly don't need it. So.
and you're saving by per object, each instance.
Per no, I get yes, but the object can be a graph, because you said we are going to see in the examples, but you said the embedded objects too. But you say by document. That means if you have what we can consider a transaction, which several documents, each one is atomic, and Mongo doesn't have the concept of transaction.
This is actually
It
commit.
saves a document or doesn't save it.
This is
but-
commit actually, like.
Yes, but the
cache
commit.
database.
Yes, but it's Mongo who doesn't manage the concept of transaction, so you cannot roll back. Mongo just inserts your document or not. It's that. So,
Excuse me, so the update granularity is also document.
what?
The update granularity is always document. So
Yes,
Yeah.
the minimum granularity is
one
document.
person changes just the age and the other person changes just the name. The last one wins.
Yeah,
everyone.
the last one wins, but as I said, the version number that I am adding will allow you to have different strategies, but so far last one wins because yes. So there is a